All right, I've got a couple big announcements for you guys. Number one, PFF's player prop tool is now available on the web for all PFF Plus subscribers. And number two, PFF Plus is 40% off right now. If you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY, you get all of the same data, grades, and analytics that all 32 NFL teams use, all 136 FBS teams use. As well, you get access to our 2026 NFL mock draft simulator, that world-class player prop tool that can help you nail all of your bets, and of course, the best fantasy football tools on the planet as well. Again, 40% off PFF Plus right now when you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. Miami beating Pittsburgh 38-7. Number 12 Miami beating number 22 Pitt. Miami staying alive in the college football playoff race, but they are officially out of the ACC championship race because of some games that we'll talk about later on in the show. Highest grade players for Miami. Number one, wide receiver, Malachi Toney. What a day for him. 87.8 grade. Corner, Xavier Lucas, 83.1. Offensive tackle, Francis Mauigoa, 82.3. Zechariah Poyser, the safety, 77.1. Gerard Pringle Jr., the running back, 76.4. And Carson Beck, 65.2. For Pitt, highest grade players, linebacker Rasheem Biles, 71.6. Corner Rashad Battle, 69.2. Safety Javon McIntyre, 66.6. Cruz Brookins, the safety, 66.2. Also at a 66.2 is Isaiah Neal, and then Mason Heinschel, 70.2. Dalton, what's the story in this game?
I'm going to tell you the least shocking thing you've heard all year. Miami dominated this game in the trenches. That's what they've done all year. That's how they win games. That's how they beat Notre Dame. That's a point of contention there, too. Miami's offensive line graded 22 points higher than Pitt's in this game. The defensive line graded 19 points higher than Pitt's in this game. Carson Beck, and yes, he gets rid of the football very quickly, only pressured on 4 out of his 34 dropbacks. Mason Heinschel pressured on 13 out of 37, 35%, which actually isn't a terrible rate when you're playing Miami, but you could feel even when he was in a clean pocket that he was rushed. Mason Heinschel absolutely loves to hold on to the football, improvise back there, play that playground football. He doesn't like getting rid of it that quickly. Miami, of course, forces you to do that, and actually had a really good passing grade under pressure, right around a 90, but it wasn't ideal, and you can feel him sped up. And then the rushing yards also 164-65 in favor of Miami. They were just better in the trenches, and it was kind of a slow burn. It was 17-7 at halftime, and then Miami ran away with it. But that's really they beat Pittsburgh the same way they've beaten teams all year. Dominate them on the offensive line. Dominate him on the defensive line.
Yeah. Mason Heinschel, credit to him, because I mentioned before in the preview how he's one of the lowest graded quarterbacks in America under pressure. He had like a 90 grade under pressure in this game. So he performed well, and he was really the only offensive player who performed well, it felt like, for Pittsburgh in this one. Because Pittsburgh, they just really, really struggled overall. I mean, they got clapped by Miami in this game. Just really struggled overall. They only had a 54.5 offensive grade, a 57.3 defensive grade for Pitt as well in this game. So just overall just got dominated on both sides of the ball. The Panthers did in this one. And in this game, a 53.6 overall grade. That is the lowest of the year for Pitt. For reference, second lowest was Notre Dame at 55.5. So Miami did beat Pitt a little bit worse than Notre Dame did in this one. Both blew them out, obviously, and Miami did score a couple touchdowns at the end of this game to make it look worse than it actually was. But still, Miami dominated this game overall. Only one defensive player for Pitt who had even a 70 PFF grade. That was Rasheem Biles. Only one offensive player who had a 70 PFF grade as well. Mason Heinschel. Every other offensive player was below a 65 PFF grade in this one. Just, again, outclassed Pitt on both sides of the ball in this game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was just they went in there and proved they're the better team. And the ironic part of it is that Miami still might be the best team in the ACC, but they won't get a chance to prove it in the championship game with Duke winning their game over Wake Forest. And they're basically in the weirdest situation in college football right now for as well as they dominated this game. And look, another point to make here, Notre Dame beat Pitt by 22. Miami beats them by 31. They're just checking boxes in the resume there to make these arguments both this Tuesday and a week from now, Sunday. But taking care of business, man, on the road, going into Pittsburgh and just dominating this team all the way around. It's a really good accomplishment for them.
Who is your most impressive from this game?
I'll stay in the trenches. Give me the big right tackle, probable first-round pick Francis Mauanoa, right? 86.2 pass blocking grade, didn't allow any pressure. 76.9 run blocking grade. Maxey's right now the 6th highest graded qualified offensive tackle in the country. And even when Miami wanted to get a little unbalanced here and kind of mess around with some formations, he would kick into guard for a handful of snaps and get some nice run blocks in there. And I do wonder if that would be a point of interest for scouts. You know what? This guy could play guard. Maybe he could be one of the best guards in football, too. But Mauanoa, as usual, the face of this Miami offensive line, he was just outstanding.
I think he's been outstanding all year,
Yep.
too. I think there's a lot of people right now, Dalton, that don't love this tackle class in the draft. I think I'm one of the few that actually really likes it. I think Fanos had a great year. I think Mauanoa's had a fantastic year overall. I think even Caden Proctor I've been impressed by this year, too. So I know a lot of people are kind of down on this tackle class, and I get it. It's probably not going to – there's no Joe Alt, I would argue, or Penei Sewell prospect in this class. But there are like 3 guys I would probably take somewhere in the top 15 to 20 in this draft in those 3.
Well, I'll tell you why that's the case is because some of those, a couple of those guys, first 2 you just mentioned, Spencer Fano, right tackle.
Yeah.
Francis Mauanoa, right tackle. Jennings Dunker, who could be talked about in that conversation, right tackle. A guy that I like in Duke, Brian Parker, right tackle. Like, people still have this kind of slight towards right tackles, and if they're elite football players, just play like Penei Sewell, left tackle at Oregon, move over. If you have 2 great tackles, look at the Eagles losing this past week without Lane Johnson, right? To me, it doesn't need to matter. I get it. The blind side left tackle's always been the whole thing, right? But if you have a great right tackle, if you have great tackles on both sides, you generally are going to have one of the best offensive lines in football, right? You know, when the Chargers have Alton Slater both healthy, when the Eagles, Mailata and Johnson, or Decker and Sewell in New York, I mean, just draft them. Just draft offensive line talent because there's not enough of it in the NFL anyway. I really do think that's the reason. It's because, these Fano and Mauanoa, especially, they're right tackles, so somehow they're lesser. They're not. They're elite football players. Take them in the top 20.
By far the best offensive lineman in the NFL right now is Penei Sewell, and he's a right tackle.
Correct.
So, and he might have break the PFF record for a grade in a season, right? He's at like a 97 right now.
I got to check it overall, but it's insane. I mean, it's just, and it just shows again. You look at the really good offensive lines in the league. Got them on both sides. Yeah. It's not just one or the other. So, I mean, to me, I wouldn't care. If I need a right tackle, fine. If you think he's talented enough, you want so desperately to put him on the left side, and put him on the left side. Fine.
Absolutely. I think those 3, man, Mauanoa, Fano, and even Proctor. I know Proctor gets a lot of hate right now. I think he's a really good player. I think it's his best year of his career he's having right now. So I think all 3 of those guys are worth top 15, top 20 picks in this draft. So I'm a little bit higher on this tackle class, I think, than most people are right now. I got to shout out, though, a guy who was not eligible until 2028. That is Baby Jesus himself, Malachi Toney. He is incredible, man.
Is that actually his nickname?
Yeah, right? Isn't it Baby Jesus, or was it someone else?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
I'll look it up real quick.
Wow.
I might have just butchered that real quick. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
But Malachi Toney, who also, by the way, someone threw in a super chat as well. I believe the same person threw in a super chat earlier, saying Malachi Toney for Heisman. Don't think it'll happen this year. Next year, though.
Hey,
I'm all in next year.
Tell you what, he keeps throwing touchdown passes along with catching 12, 13 balls a week. Then you're on to something there because, starting –
Baby Jesus,
It really is.
That's
wow.
what nickname coming out of high school is Baby Jesus.
Oh.
I could see why, the way he played in this game, man. That guy does everything for this Miami offense. He caught 13 of his 16 targets for 126 yards and a touchdown with 93 yards after the catch, 3 forced missed tackles, almost 4 yards per route run. He also ran 5 times for 30 yards and 3 first downs. He also had a touchdown pass as well in this game. He is the highest graded true freshman in the Power 4 right now. I would argue right now he is the best true freshman in college football this year. I believe the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award is only for true freshmen. If it's for redshirt freshmen, Julian Sain probably will win that award. If it's for true freshmen, though, which it should be, honestly, Malachi Toney should win that award. He is the best true freshman right now in college football. Dalton, we were talking about it in the office yesterday. He will absolutely enter next year, for me, as a top 5 receiver in the country. You could even argue Malachi Toney is the second best receiver returning to college football next year behind Jeremiah Smith, of course, but he has been incredible, man. Special football player. He's only 17 years old as well. Should be a senior in high school right now, kind of like the Ryan Williams stuff from last year. But Malachi Toney, what an incredible year he has had for the Hurricanes and an incredible game against Pitt.
How about this? Receiving grade, all right, on the season, 90.4. Only two guys ahead of him. Wyatt Young from North Texas, who we'll talk about later this week, because that North Texas team is on fire, and Mekhi Lemon. He's moved ahead of Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, who are right behind him with a 90.4 receiving grade. 106 targets. Not a single drop.
Wow.
Not one. I'm going to have to start seeing if we're getting into some sort of record territory with that as well, with that many targets and no drops. And you got to love how he's a true freshman. Obviously, he's an elite football player, right? And he can do everything for them. But Miami, as the season's gone on, this is why I wanted to talk about him in the preview, they've started to center their entire offense around Malachi Toney, whether it's him flying in motion and creating that distraction and then opening things up in the run game, whether it's winning downfield, winning after the catch. He's one of the leaders in yards after catch this season. Now he's throwing the football seemingly every week. He's thrown multiple touchdown passes this year. I mean, he's just a darn good football player. I think that's really the best way to put it, is even you would never know watching him. If no one told you, you'd never know he's a true freshman.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't play like it. He plays like a veteran. He plays like he just knows everything he's doing out there almost ahead of time. You're absolutely right. This is one of the best players in college football, regardless of class and regardless, next year coming back, like you mentioned, he's got a really good argument as number 2 coming back.
Yeah, he really might be number 2 in the country behind Jeremiah Smith going into next year, man. He's an incredible, incredible football player. Again, it should only be a senior in high school right now, and he reclassified up to Miami, and they are very grateful for that, considering how amazing he has been for the Hurricanes this year. An outrageous one-handed catch that he had in this game, a touchdown pass, 30 rushing yards, 126 receiving yards, 13 catches, a receiving touchdown. He does it all for the Miami offense. He's done that all season long as well. The best true freshman in college football is Malachi Toney. All right,